Zerg at least right now.
Wow,
He's
that-
always like top 5 in the ladder. And since it's a new game, it's not the same players as it used to be.
He seems very driven and very motivated as well, and I think he genuinely enjoys the game, and I think that helps out so much when you have the dream of making it as a pro gamer. As you guys can see, we are loaded into the first match of HomeStory Cup 12, Day 4. The quarterfinals are live, and this is Elazer Crest. We're looking at the main base of the French Protoss. He's representing My Insanity. It is PtitDrogo. And now in the building somewhere, Todd just cringed. He's like, God, Roddy, you'll never learn. How do you say his name, Lilba?
PtitDrogo.
Petit.
Petit.
Yeah, but you can say petit because it's supposed to be petit, but like it's the same word, just with no E. But
So-
petit is not supposed to be a word at the beginning.
All right. You want to introduce Elazer, Lilba? Show me how it's done.
Okay, so on the top right, we have the best Polish dog by very far. From Team TS, it's Elazer.
Meanwhile, Guru is sitting downstairs. He's like, God, I've never liked Lilba, you know. By far, really? Like, I took a couple maps of him, man.
It's not about Go, it's about
It's an
nurture,
archer.
man.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
You have to troll the nurture.
All right, let's take a look at these openings. Once again, the players already said that these openings are going to be weird. There will be a lot of mind games. These are two players that are very familiar with each other. So the things that you see in this series are not necessarily what you want to do in your own ladder games when you don't know your opponents. But so far, I think it's not too weird. It's yes?
Yeah, he's opening Nexus first, which can be a little bit risky on this map. But he was playing yesterday, and he was doing the 2-gate adept opening on this map against Elazer. So Elazer's probably a little bit worried about aggression, and he might not think it's a really greedy opening from Lilbo.
I think on this map, if you Nexus first, you only die if you scout last. And now he's scouting last, so he would be dead if there was a
13-12 or 12 pool, yeah.
Fortunately for Drogo, that's not going to be the case over here. It's funny as well, because when I think of Drogo, I think either Nexus first or just ridiculously aggressive of one base, where he makes 4 to 6 adepts, sometimes even the Stargate before the Nexus. He doesn't really take the middle way. It's either, you know, like all macro or it's all aggression.
Yeah, he pretty much plays like a Zerg actually. Like on big 4 players map, they always either do an early pull or a free hatch before pull. Like they never do a safe opening on this map.
He's a pretty extreme Protoss, but he's been doing very good. Of course, the last time he also made it to the quarterfinals at HomeStory Cup. Who did Drogo lose to in the quarterfinals of? Was it the Zerg back then?
No, it was.
He played a Korean, I think.
Yeah, it must be a Korean because it was like 5 Koreans and 3 French. So.
Maybe it was a Terran, or maybe
It was not Wayne.
No, I don't think it was Rain. We'll look it up after this game. Just remember that we had 3 Frenchies in the top 8, and that was kind of the start of the French Revolution.
Yeah, I just don't know.
Now we have 2, right?
Yes.
2 Polish players even.
It's like I think we have 3 Koreans, 2 Polish, 2 Frenchies, and 1 German. Showtime, of course, is going to be playing less. It's going to be awesome because then the audience over here can wake up a little bit. They can recover from their rough night, and then by the time that their local hero plays, they can all start cheering for Showtime. So the first 2 adepts are making their way across the map. He will probably let it finish and see what he can accomplish in the main base. There we go. Drogo not really paying attention, probably distracted by these links as he had to photon overcharge in his natural. But he should still be able to get a couple of drones. And this is very nice because Elazer opened up with speed. You're not supposed to lose 5, 6, 7 drones over here.
I'm not sure why he did not use the shade. But it's okay. Like Drogo going full Drogo right now, just a 3-gate adept, I suppose. Yeah, 3-gate and Oracle. It's like the build he do every time, so no weird stuff.
The Overlord is just sitting there looking at it.
Yeah, it's like, I think it's going to be an Oracle, right? It's like spinning around. He's like, yeah, that looks like
Yeah, it must be an Oracle. I think he doesn't even check because they practice together and I think he just Oracle all the time.
I mean, you can see it.
Sometimes I can't tell between an Oracle and a Phoenix.
The Phoenix is way more pointy.
Yeah.
It's like sharp, more edges. These links are running around. There were a couple of spore crawlers being thrown down, of course, here by Elazer. One in the natural, one in the main base. And the third base actually doesn't have a spore just yet. Would you kill the queen right now with the Oracle? No.
Yeah, I think there is only 2 drones, so it would be good to kill the queen.
2 drones and then the queen?
I don't know if you can get the
Okay,
queen
Lava,
after the
why
drone.
not?
He killed the larva. Didn't see that one coming. Drogo's living up to it, man. The game's already getting weird. Should I go for the queen? He's like, nah, larva. It's funny how like cocoons are really hard to kill and larva is like super easy to kill. Like everything kills a larva. How do you like it in ZVZ Scarlet when like you can drop corrosive bile on larva and stuff? Do you think it's funny?
Corrosive bile and larva? I never tried that actually.
think it's not bad. I've seen it a couple times.
Sounds like a Roddy build.
Well, my
2 Ravager Rush, just pile the...
All right, Drogo marching across the map with double Oracle and a bunch of adapts. This is very similar to what we saw from MC yesterday as well. He's definitely going to let it finish this time. He's going to find a queen, and there are a lot of roaches in production, but most of them will not pop here in the main base. So I think this is going to be painful and pretty annoying over here for Elazer. And look at these Oracles, they're actually doing some serious work. Elazer is not ready to deal with this.
Yeah, the watch power was a bit late apparently. But yeah, it's actually quite surprising. He's supposed to defend this well. Drogo just do this push really all the time. Like he should be expecting this. I think it's pretty hard to counter even if you expect, but I expected him to do a bit better.
Maybe he was a little bit greedy because he lost like 4 or 5 drones early on to the 2 adepts, which he didn't account for. So maybe he felt he had to economically recover. But I mean, you're spot on. Those roaches were just too late. You know, it's no rocket science.
Actually, Elazer is pretty far behind. He has like 10 less drones.
And you can't really just defend that with only Zerglings, because if you send them away from the Spore Card, they just die to the Oracles really quickly.
You just get demolished by the Oracles.
I love everything that Drogo has done so far. I think he's in an excellent position. He's going to follow it up with the safety Void Ray as well, while these 2 Oracles is still going to be annoying. We're probably going to see a couple of stasis traps here and there as well. We saw that yesterday in his games against XII, and I really like that actually. I thought it was very smart.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good for Drogo to do enough damage in early game, because on this map the positions are very close, and he would just die to a Ravager Watcholin if he was a bit ahead, so it's actually pretty good for him.
The follow-up is going to be important though. Is it just going to be Charge Load, Immortals, Archons? Is that what we're going to see?
Yeah,
I think that's
probably.
what Drogo likes doing. But he's making sentries here. Maybe just to defend.
He's going back to the roots a little bit.
Yeah, like when we talk with Drogo, he's like, yeah, Stalker is just useless. He doesn't even make Blink anymore at all, even after charge. He's like, no Stalkers whatsoever.
How can a man that loves Stalkers that much?
Does he do it against Phoenix, or does he just try and go into a lot of Phoenix?
Yeah, or you can say
Against Muta.
I don't think he even do Phoenix. Like, he just makes Zealot Archon, pretty much. Because Phoenix just died to Vipers then. So.
Leaves 4 Archons at home, every mineral line, and then he just runs
you don't
across
need
the
4
map.
Archons, like 2 Archons and Marship Core, and you can kill 50 Mutalisks. It's okay. And then you just walk across the map with Zealots, and you press A, and then you click.
You make it sound like this is a very difficult game, Lilba.
No, but like, yeah. I'm just trolling a little bit, but that's still pretty much what you have to do against Mutas.
I do find it, like, I think it depends a little bit on the map. I think it depends on how effective Zerglings can be in counterattacks as well. Because if the upgrades have good links, then I think it's a lot harder to deal with Mutalisks when you aim for a Zealot Archon Immortal composition. I was actually sitting behind Xian this morning. He was going over his games a little bit, and he said that he should have made Mutalisk a lot quicker against Drogo.
I don't know. I think Zealot Archon is still pretty good against Mutalisk.
I mean,
But it's really not an issue to have no blink. Being Stalker is just terrible.
I mean, one of the things that makes this a good Zerg map in general is that it's hard for Protoss to go up to 4 bases. But if you've done as much economic damage as Drogo has done early on, do you even need a 4th base? I mean, he has a lot of stuff going on at home right now. So there's +1, there's Charge almost done. He has a Robo Bay as well. But this is still pretty scary. If Elazer gets caught in a bad position, he could lose everything. But the same can be said for Drogo, because Zealots and Archons are sometimes they are a little silly.
Really nice evos from Elazer. He's just trying to make a wall because there's so many charge lots. If he funnels the Zealots in slowly, he should be able to win the fight.
Yeah, Elazer is just trying to survive.
Oh, the Lurkers are not ready
waiting
yet.
for the Lurkers.
Yeah, this is actually quite nice for Drogo, because his Lurkers are not ready.
Yeah,
He's going
it's
to
the
burrow
very
now.
best timing he can eat. If he wants to eat the timing, but still, I don't think it's going too well.
No, the roaches, one of the stations does go off. Elazer has to be careful. That was a pretty good hold so far, but he shouldn't chase. He shouldn't chase down the ramp, because he's going to end up losing a lot of units very quickly. I think Elazer got a little bit ahead of himself there. There are 11 roaches on the production tab, so he's going to try to hang in there. He's going to try to stabilize. This is a much better position, of course, as the Zealots are just dying one by one, while the Archons are shooting at the evolution chambers that you pointed out, that I think were very good indeed as well.
I'm not sure if Drogo should continue to pressure this base. He could just wait and pressure the 4th. He will do way better trades if he attack the 4th instead of here. So if I was him, I would just go macro, build disruptors, maybe a Stargate for later Tempest just in case.
I mean, like, hindsight is always, it's always easier to speak afterwards, but I think if he would have sent 5 Zealots to this hatchery while he's making that push, I think he kills it, right?
But I mean, if he attack the 4th directly, then he can just take a way better fight than this. So.
I think he thought he might be able to just kill Elazer straight up, so he wanted everything there at the front.
But it's pretty risky play.
Yeah.
It's really funny how Zealot Archon works, because if that same fight with those same armies would have happened in the middle of the map, the Zealots would have just swarmed around the army and murder it.
Definitely.
But it's so much harder to run up a ramp, be uncreeped, or evolution chambers were derping the AI a little bit. This is a big warp in though. There's a lot of Zealots being warped in over here. And I think Drogo might actually be able to kill the natural, while Elazer is going to try to do his best to get back there as quick as possible. But I see no queens, no transfuse available. And that's going to be it.
Yep. Now if he can kill the fourth, he will be in a pretty good spot, but I think it's going to be complicated.
This is one lurker doing some work in the middle of the map.
Is there no observer with the army?
Let's take a look. There's one. But,
yeah, it's not with the army. Okay, it's here.
I mean, obviously Drogo is still very happy with this right now. He's on double robo, he's getting decent upgrades, he's starting to get his disruptors. The immortal count is a tiny bit low, but I guess he just relies on the Archons to take care of the roaches and maybe 1 or 2 disruptor shots.
He's up in upgrades, he's up in bases right now. He's in a really good position, and killing.
Oh, okay, this would be nice for Elazer, getting a free disruptor over here, a pretty expensive unit. This is so risky though by Elazer, because if he goes in here, he can't go out.
Yeah, but it's pretty hard to engage with disruptors into an army like this, so...
I don't know, man. I really think this is quite questionable what Elazer is doing.
The
The
4
disruptor
lurkers just
shots are
got
not
caught
supposed to
out.
be good.
Oh, big disruptor hit over here as well. He gets a couple of roaches immediately. These lurkers are not even participating in the battle. I think Elazer is going to end up losing everything here. The question is, how much will he kill before he loses everything? But with, I mean, Photon Overcharge is pretty good as well.
The F2 zealots are not killing the fourth anymore. That's pretty unfortunate. Okay, we are going back.
F2 is a very powerful hotkey.
Yeah, but sometimes it's not that powerful.
But in the end, these zealots have turned around. He will be able to kill it. The lurkers have repositioned, so this is the only thing that's kind of nice over here. Oh, imagine he gets in range, I think. He's so close to actually being able to kill a whole bunch of probes. But I mean, that wasn't worth it, man. Look at the army supply. Look at the bank of Elazer. He lost the 4th base during all of that. He lost his natural before. He was just not rich enough to commit to something like that.
Yeah, I think Elazer is just pretty dead right now. He just has not enough money, not enough army, so...
What do you think, Scarlet?
He has nothing other than lurkers after this, so Drogo can just step back, make disruptors, or maybe he thinks he's far enough ahead, he can just go kill him.
Why do you guys think that Elazer went for that? Did he have no other choice? Was it like his time to go? Is he worried
I
about...
don't know. He was probably like, okay, I'm behind, I will just die to the 200 populations because I have not enough money to make Neutralisk or something. So.
If you don't go into Vipers or Ultralisks, you can't really do anything once they have enough disruptors. They'll just sit outside your base and slowly kill off the lurkers. So he felt like he had to do something with his army rather than just let it get picked off. And it could have been a good fight, maybe if he got the lurkers in there in front of the little choke point. He probably could have killed the base at least.
I think maybe if he has 1 or 2 more lurkers and he makes sure that once they actually fight, all the lurkers are able to participate in the fight, I think it could have been different. But when you're just surrounded by zealots and disruptors coming in from every angle, I don't think there's much you can do anymore. Supply-wise, it's still semi-close, but Elazer knows as a pro player that he's just too far behind. And GG is called. Drogo will win on Larelac Crest, and that's an excellent start.
Drogo having some banter to Elazer.
Why? What did you say?
You didn't see the screen? He was like,
okay.
Whip.
Well, great start for your friend, Lilba.
Yeah, I mean, he did everything perfectly pretty much, except that a bit too ballsy push at the beginning, but he just played. Everything went perfectly for him, so he was just ahead and he win. Especially on this map, it's pretty good for him.
Scarlet, as Zerg player yourself, if you're Elazer, you look at that game, is it just like a couple of minor mistakes, not handling the adepts well, roaches a little bit too late, or do you feel there was a bigger problem than that?
I think it's mainly just the start of the game. Once adepts get into your base like that, you just feel really off about the game because you're like, I should have been able to defend this. I lost a lot of drones. I'm kind of behind. And it hurts your mindset going into the game. So,
I know. I know. I'm very familiar with that.
So if he defends those the next game, I think you'll feel a lot more comfortable.
Also because he opened up rather safe. It wasn't even super greedy. He had speedlings and then like losing 5 drones, I think it was, to 2 adepts while you have queens and speedlings. Like that's not something that's supposed to happen, you know, when you're as good as Elazer. So maybe that's also kind of hurt him. And let's not forget, like sometimes people look at worker kills and in different stages of the game. It's like, well, 5 workers, it seems like a lot, but it's not that bad. But if you only have 25 drones, you lose 20% of your economy. Like that's massive. If you're on 55 or 60 workers and you lose 5, yeah, that stings a little, but you replace them immediately and it's barely 5% of your economy. But early game, 5 drones is an insane amount of workers.
And he did get some lings across the map, but they didn't do anything, so he probably would have rather had them at home defending. Maybe he just didn't see the adepts walk across the map, even if you're expecting it. Sometimes you can not know the timing exactly.
The second map is going to be played on Dusk Towers. I think this is a map that Drogo is pretty comfortable at. I think he likes it. There's a good chance we're going to see something very similar. He's in love with this, you know, with the adept push and then like the strong adept follow-up, the Oracle harass, and then the slow and steady transition into a bunch of charge lots with Immortals, with Archons. He really seems to... What I like about Drogo is that he has found another style that he's obviously very good at when it comes to executing it. He's very comfortable in doing it, but it's completely different to his Heart of the Swarm style. And I actually think that's pretty impressive because most of the time people are either good at one thing or the other thing, but they have a really hard time getting used to big changes. But
And Drogo's always been good at PvZ. But yeah, being a completely different style, you sometimes don't expect that. Like maybe he's good at a different matchup now, but...
No, exactly. Like I always knew that Drogo was good, but to me he did feel a little bit like a one-trick pony. I was like, you know, okay, he's really good with Blink Stalkers, he's really good with sentries, but how good is he really when it comes to, you know, if he's under pressure or like changing it up, like transitioning while being aggressive? But he has shown tremendous growth as a player.
I think Legacy of the Void's going to be really good for him.
He's also extremely motivated. Lilba, who plays more, you or Drogo?
I think we pretty much play the same. Or maybe he plays a bit more. I'm not too sure.
All right.
But like everyone plays a lot, basically.
Let's do the introductions. I'll leave it up to you two.
Why?
Spawning.
Because I want to have a day off, Lilba. I'm tired. No.
Spawning in the bottom left corner of the map, it is the red Polish Zerg Elazer.
And on the top right, the blue Protoss. Obviously the best Protoss of France by extremely far. It's a main cities of PtitDrogo.
Do you have a name for him, Lilba?
A name?
Yeah, like a nickname.
Just we call him the Dragon, pretty much.
The Dragon?
Yeah, the Dragon.
Yeah, his nickname, PtitDrogo. It's like little dragon almost. Little...
Okay. Now I get it. I was like, wow, that's kind of mean. Why are you calling him a dragon?
It's not like we are going to fake
like
him or anything.
Seems like a pretty handsome guy to me, you know?
No, it's not this kind of dragon.
Okay. Once again, it was a Nexus first over here for our little dragon. He's going to follow it up with 2 gates once again. Wouldn't be surprised to see him open up with the adepts. All right, so there's something before this game really kicks up that I want to ask you, Scarlett.
Yeah?
Do you have a preference on maps like this? If you spawn on the top side of the map or the bottom side of the map? Do you care about
Not
it?
really, no.
No?
I heard some players talking about it, that they think it's really a lot better to just spawn on the bottom and attack upwards. But no, I don't care.
I'm one of them, and ever since like I started thinking about it, I really feel that I am a lot better when I spawn at the bottom side of the map. Because like, so if you're at the bottom side of the map, right? Like most of the time, let's say your army is here. If you fight and you micro your units to the bottom of your screen, and that feels very natural and comfortable. Well, I feel if you spawn at the top side of the map, then your army might be here, his army is here, and then you have to micro units like towards the right top of the screen. And to me personally, that feels a little unnatural, and I feel I'm a lot more inaccurate when I spawn at the top than when I spawn at the bottom.
They should show you your stats for that.
Yeah, I actually think...
I don't know.
You ever thought about it, Lilba?
No, I really think it's only you. Like, I really don't care where I spawn.
No, I don't think it's only me. I think
Or not only you, but I don't think it's an unusual thing.
Okay. All right. Well, the first 2 adepts are marching across the map for Drogo. Let's see how well he does if he spawns on the top side of the map. Never lucky. Like if I'm playing a ladder game right now and I queue up and it's like bottom spawn, it's like, top. Never lucky. Like always bottom.
You're overthinking it.
Yeah, I know. It got in my mind right now. Like I feel like I'm already down, you know. I've already lost 7 probes by the time the game starts because I spawned at the top side of the map. These adepts again are doing some serious work. This time it is a 3 hatch opening though, so he's able to recover from it a little bit quicker, but already 10 workers down.
Yeah, but the problem is that Drogo's probe got killed at the 3rd, and now he has a little bit of bank, and his 3rd is a bit late.
Oh, what killed? Ling?
Yeah, just like 2 links.
Okay. I mean, it's still a 4-minute third base. That's pretty quick, right?
Yeah, but
Usually-
in this build it should be like 30 seconds earlier.
Usually you might expect to lose this many drones if they're going like 2-gate first before Nexus, but going Nexus first into adepts, you don't want to lose anything. Maybe one drone,
Yeah.
a couple zerglings, but six.
Without speed, it is kind of tricky, though, don't you think so?
You have the queens at the front, keep the zerglings to chase the shades, and then they don't want to warp in because they'll lose both adepts and maybe get a drone or two. That's probably not worth it, but you don't want to lose that much for sure.
Once again, perhaps a little bit unfortunate, but at least this time his opening is slightly more economic, so he should be able to recover from it a tiny bit quicker. There's a lot of big buildings going down right now in the main base of Drogo. The Twilight, the Forge, the Robo.
He's probably just going to do some harass with Warp Prism adepts after he gets the upgrade, and then go into a later push, similar style, Zealot, Archon, Immortal.
I'm not even sure if he will use the Warp Prism. It's not really useful if you're not doing anything aggressive beside it. So I guess he's just going to macro and try to scout what Elazer is up to.
Well, he's going to open up with the Prism at least immediately, and we'll see. He has a couple of sentries. Do you think he might actually be able to pick up 2 sentries and go for some old school dirty Protoss magic and drop a force field on the ramp?
I don't think so. It's just because of this build, you go for a fast, quick third base, so you always have a lot of gas. And if you don't do sentries, you just can't use it. So
And it's a lot weaker on maps like this where they have an in-base natural, because then you have 2 hatcheries of production.
Well, it could still be kind of frustrating.
Yeah.
It's still, sometimes it's a little bit tricky.
I just want to leave the game whenever that happens.
But if you do this on this
F10
map,
and-
there is still 2 base.
Yeah, 2
so
bases.
it's okay.
All right, so the Immortal is on the way. Let's see what Drogo is going to do with his Prism. Picked up 4 Zealots, actually. Charges halfway down. He doesn't have the Adept upgrade this game, so he's just not making any Adepts at all. Which also means that his real army composition, the one that he loves so much, when it comes to the Archons, the Immortals, the Charge Lots, he's going to be able to get there quite a bit quicker, because he's not investing in a Stargate this game. He's not investing in the Adepts or in the Adept upgrade. So it's very important that Elazer picks up on it. And if Elazer is normally planning to have some sort of a fight, maybe even try to go up to Ultras, he'll probably die before that. So I think he's going to need to produce a lot of lurkers. Otherwise, he's going to have a very hard time dealing with it. I was also thinking, against this style, I think if there is one thing that's very, very, very good against a lot of Zealots, it's fungal growth.
Yeah, maybe infestors.
Do you think just a couple, 2, or let's say 3 infestors? I think it would be very useful against this style, because fungal is pretty much good against all the units that Drogo has.
Even banelings, maybe.
Yeah, no, banelings are absolutely.
Against
TLO would do
charge
it.
ups, yeah.
TLO would definitely
Or
do it.
Archeo.
Actually, we thought about this with Drogo, and he said your Baneling is not that good because you just pull back with the Zealots and the Archon will just kill them in 2 shots.
Yeah.
And then you can go again. But maybe fungal growth can be good.
But you don't need to run forward with the banelings. You can just keep them and wait for the chargelets to come. Fight with lurkers.
Yeah, but you
and
don't need to
everything.
come with a charger then.
Yeah, but
No,
You
there's
can
no
just
fight.
engage
There's
with the Archons and you pull back the Zealots and win the Baneling.
I mean, I think it's an interesting micro battle. I
Yeah.
think you can theory craft it for a
I
long
don't
time,
know.
but Archons are very powerful. But if they're just standing there by themselves and a bunch of lurkers and hydras are shooting at them, they melt pretty quickly too. Anyways, we'll see how Elazer is going to handle it. For now, it's just a lot of roaches, a couple of ravagers, and he's trying to buy some time for his lurkers. This is a pretty big warp. Actually, this is a massive warp in.
Yeah.
How many queens are there? I think you might be able to get it.
I think I would have gone for the army if I was Drogo. There is not enough units. And the charge is pretty good, so...
He could have killed those hydras and roaches with that many zealots.
At the same time, Drogo is getting a little adventures over here with just a couple of Archons, so he will
one Archon
recall
is
out.
going to... no. Michael.
Oh,
Very
whoa.
unfortunate.
This Hydra, it's all things.
And if I was a laser, I wouldn't even be that sad losing the hatchery.
No,
He
Drogo
did
lost
kill-
a lot
Yeah, he
there.
killed
he
so
was-
many zealots. And that wasn't his lair. His lair was at his natural. So.
Now, I would probably counterattack and
Yeah.
siege up with lurkers. Try to get 4, 5, 6 lurkers, just put them up here and slowly but steady move forward. And I think it's going to be very hard for Drogo to survive. I think he overextended a little bit there.
Yeah, a little bit, I guess.
I mean, he almost lost the Mothership Core. It has a little bit. It has some energy, but not that much.
He did a lot of economic damage, and of course, after you do this, you are vulnerable to counterattack. But it looks like he's aware of this. He's having some.
But did he
one
though?
cannon and pylons.
He killed the hatchery, but other than that, he didn't really kill a whole lot. It's still 72 drones.
Yeah. But right now, he's mining way more than Elazer. So, but he has no disruptors at all against
How many lurkers?
Lurker. he has to high click pretty much.
He's putting them very far forward. I actually don't like that much. All the lurkers just die. I think that was a little over-ambitious from Elazer.
He went too quick, I think.
Yeah, that's not the way that you want to engage with your lurkers. You want to get a couple ready. So all of these roaches and ravagers are suddenly in a very difficult position, and these Archons and Immortals are just ripping this army.
Oh, and we have two lurkers harassing Drogo's fourth.
Oh, that's nice, at
It's
least.
pretty annoying to deal with.
Okay.
Okay, not that annoying apparently.
A lot of very low HP zealots, but most of them will survive.
Yeah,
Link's going to try to counter, and he's going to try to kill this Nexus, but he shouldn't
There's
be able
no
to get it.
upgrades, yeah.
No.
That was a great fight for Drogo. The lurker's a bit too far forward, and maybe he attacked a little bit too early. Because lurkers, they're nice, but against the charge lot style, they're not the same as they are against stalkers. They're not going to kill the entire army by themselves.
And also, like, he had 5 lurkers, but 2 of them were over here. So basically just 3 lurkers with this fight, and he runs them in, like, immediately. So
they got killed by the zealots, which shouldn't happen before the other army dies.
They got killed after they got maybe like 2 or 3 waves of spikes off. It just seemed like that was not a brilliant engagement by Elazer. Maybe he's a little bit nervous as well. Let's not forget, he's only 18 years old. This is a very big series for him. Making it to the semifinals of HomeStory Cup would be a big achievement for both of these guys. So maybe it can't be too hard, but definitely an engagement that Elazer could have handled a lot better, and we know that he's capable of it.
But now I'm pretty worried for Elazer. Like he doesn't have any tech and any useful upgrade. Like he has range upgrade, but it's not useful for Broodlords or Ultralisk. So I don't really know what he's going to use next. He can't really do Ultralisk or anything. While Drogo is having 4 disruptors soon, so I think Drogo's army will be way stronger in the next few minutes.
Yeah, unless Drogo takes somehow an awful engagement into all the lurkers and gets too ahead of himself. But
it's pretty easy to get an awful engagement against lurker. Like you can die very quickly if you're not careful.
where are the other units of Elazer?
The lurkers are so spread out here, and they're by themselves. They're doing a lot of damage to the Immortals, but they're not killing anything.
In the main.
Is there anything else?
That was a weird fight.
Yeah, because there are no roaches and no ravagers. He just lost everything. He has 9 Hydralisk. I guess.
Yeah, but Drogo lost quite a lot as well. Yeah, that was pretty weird.
That was really weird because
Only
Elazer
lurkers.
is at 160 supply, and the only thing I saw fighting there were 7 lurkers. It's like, okay, you know, he has 92 drones.
Yeah, he has some money in the bank.
Macro, maybe a macro hatcher. So he's making a lot of links right now. He's going to try to counterattack with the links, trying to keep Drogo at least on 4 bases. This is just so much less intimidating when these links don't have any upgrades, though. They have +1 armor, and +1 melee is going to finish up in 15 seconds. So that's going to actually make this a little bit more difficult to deal with.
There's so many Archons, though. He might be able to just push in the front. There's no spine crawlers at all. I don't know if there's enough lurkers to defend this. 10 lurkers. It's nice, but...
Oh, the 2 lurker hours is going to be seen.
So these links should be able... I mean, Photon Overcharge is really good, but with
the
this
pylons
many
are
links...
finishing, yeah.
Nah, I
think
think this is
might
enough
be
links.
Probably.
He will cancel, but he will still kill a lot of it.
That's nice. He's going to retreat. He did lose quite a few links.
Yeah.
Quadruple Photon Overcharge, pretty good. All right, Drogo's going to try his luck again, and like you said, Scarlett, there are so many Archons in this army, so he should be able to eat quite a few of these shots. I do like the lurker positioning a lot more this time, though. The Disruptor's not really doing anything yet. He's going to shoot a couple balls forward. Careful with the Ravagers. That's unfortunate. Lost the lurkers and also lost a couple Ravagers. Here are the majority of the lurkers, though. Oh, Drogo, he's going to have to kill them real quick, and he does take out most of them immediately, and perhaps there is enough, well... He's starting to lose a lot. He has to make sure that all of his units stay together. But so far, so good for our French brothers. He also has Zealots killing all of the drones over here. That's very nice. Lings again are trying to counter over here on the right side of the map. But Drogo, it seems like he still has enough beefy, powerful units alive to go. No, no, no. Oh! Picnic, boys. Picnic.
Yeah. I like Elazer had actually a very weak army. He had 30 legs at the front and he had 92 drones. So in the end, the army was pretty small, even though it was full lurkers.
I think you can really see that both players are playing with a lot of pressure over here. They're just nervous, man. Like Drogo just blew up 3 of his own units. Could have been a lot worse. They both had 1,500 minerals, over 1,000 gas in the bank. Ultralisk event is going down, but like, why are you gonna make ultras? You don't even have the upgrades. I mean, I do. Of course, ultras are great, and I guess a couple of the immortals have died, but it's. I mean, if he can get out a couple, he still has money. Disruptors again are going to connect with a couple lurkers, and he will be able to get 2. And doesn't really kill anything in return. How many lurkers are we currently looking at? 4, 6 Hydras.
Well, the lurker doesn't have a range upgrade, I believe.
No. Huh? What?
There isn't any upgrades
Wait.
for lurker range.
Yes, there is, I think.
What?
It's only 6 and then it's 9 if, with a
No,
range.
they removed it. It starts with 9 now.
Okay. Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
I'm pretty sure as well.
Wait. Okay.
But GG is called as Drogo wins a pretty scrappy game on Dust Towers, but a very entertaining one nonetheless. Solid game by him, and I really think that this is a game that you're going to look back at as Elazer and you're going to be a little frustrated with yourself. Because I think after, yes, he lost the main base, losing the layer stinks, but he killed 12 Zealots, and he killed an Archon, he killed an Immortal on Creep, he forced Drogo to recall, and at this point he's up 55, 60 supply, and he still has 72 drones. It's not like he had a crippling economy. I think if he gets a better engagement with the Lurkers, a few more units, Hydras, Roaches, I really think he can just take the game there in a strong counterattack.
Yeah, there's no disruptors yet. There weren't.
No.
They weren't even close to being done. So if he just killed the 4th slowly, made a few more lurkers, and then went through the choke point, I think he probably could have killed the 4th, and it would have been a different game. But
Yeah. I think it just nerves. I really think,
Yeah.
like, sometimes you're like, okay, you know, it wasn't actually that bad. I'm going to counterattack. I'm going to finish it up. Yes, yes, yes. We're going to even up the series. And then suddenly you look at your army. It's like, wait, I have like 2 lurkers and they're in front of my army. And like there are 3 zealots that are just killing the lurkers. And then suddenly it's like, okay, now it's just roaches and ravagers against a bunch of zealots. And there are still 2, 3 immortals alive, a couple archons. Very unfortunate. Yeah, very unfortunate moment there, I think, for Elazer. Because if you look back at it, if he would resume that game from replay after he cleaned up the zealots in the main, I think 8 out of 10 times he will handle that counterattack better and probably just straight up win the game right there.
I'm not sure if he was that far ahead, but yeah, he could have done way better.
It was like 165 supply against 101.
No, it was not that bad, I think.
Yeah, it was.
Was it?
Yeah, I looked at it.
I don't know. Maybe he had 92 drones already because the army didn't look that scary.
Yeah, he had 72 drones on that moment. I looked at it. He didn't lose
I don't
any
know.
workers.
Like the situation didn't look that bad for Drogo, I think.
No,
it didn't, but it could have.
yeah, that's the point. Like, I
Like
think
he went too early with it.
maybe if he waited a couple seconds until the reinforcements arrived, maybe a couple units were in
Yeah,
production.
maybe. Yeah.
And I just
Yeah,
think like
but-
not enough lurkers. Like he definitely had the money. He still had the economy as well. I think to max out and just create a much scarier army.
But he might also think that disruptors are about to start coming out. And when
Yeah.
2 come out, it really changes the fight. So he probably was also thinking, I need to get damage done now.
Yeah, I was probably just very eager to finish it and indeed probably worried about the disruptor count going up and maybe felt like, all right, he's going to wait anyway. He's going to stay passive. Maybe actually Elazer, wow, I'm dying. Maybe Elazer thought that Drogo was going to give him time, that Drogo wasn't going to engage into him because he just lost so many units. That he's like, all right, I'm going to start sieging up over here, and then slowly but steady, while I'm maxing out, I'm going to move forward because Drogo is going to be passive. He's going to wait for his disruptors. But instead, Drogo was like, well, that army actually doesn't look that scary, you know? Let's go for it.
So game 3 is going to be on All Arena. And this is a very divided map. Some people like it, some people hate it.
I think it's pretty good for Protoss overall, especially for Drogo's style.
Unless you're playing Bly.
Yes, Bly's on fire.
You don't want to play Bly on this map.
I think it's still okay even if it's Bly.
No, no, no.
Yeah.
No, you don't mess with Bly on the arena.
I mean, actually, yeah.
You've been messing with Bly on the arena?
I don't really remember, but I think this map is just good for Protoss
Oh,
overall.
you would have
It's
remembered.
good for
if you
most
played Bly.
PVZs, not against Bly.
Okay, but it's not good. But it's not Bly anyway. And the laser is going legit right now, so...
So spawning in the bottom left of the map, it is Elazer from Poland, yes.
Yeah.
And over here on the left top side of the map, we're looking at the man who's 1 map away from making it to the semifinals of a HomeStory Cup, and that would be the first time in his career. It's our French Protoss representing my insanity, PtitDrogo, also known as Little Dragon. Je m'attire.
You can't leave now, man. You have to cast.
Okay. I'll do it at the end of the day.
Okay.
When there's 3 mans today, at the end, I'll say Je m'attire.
Or you can say bisous poulet, like showtime. It also work.
He said it?
Yeah, he said it last night before he went to bed. Bisous poulet.
My French is not that good. All right, so again, Nexus first. Man, Drogo has no fear, by the way, like going Nexus first on this map. I know that you can probably still deal with early pools. You can buy
Yeah.
some times with wiping in pylons over here, but I think it's very frustrating. Like, I think I was talking about it with Showtime, and Showtime is like, you know, it's not ideal. I do think you can handle it. He's like, but it's going to be annoying. Like, links are going to be very annoying.
Yeah, like if it's just 12 full into Mako, you will just fall behind anyway, so...
Uh-oh.
Oh.
It's a very early Roach Warren.
I think he's going full blind right now.
22 drones, check.
It's time to verify who is right.
I mean, the adepts are definitely going to scout this, right? Like, there's almost no way that the adepts won't scout this.
Yeah, it's like 90% they will scout it for sure. And he's going targets.
Yeah, he can make a Void right here and defend it. He might take some damage at the front, but he won't die.
Do you think maybe Elazer should try to produce multiple queens? And
Yeah,
then
he
make
could bring queens pretty easily.
You want to get creep spread started usually when you do that. Or you could just do it really
And
slowly.
you want to get queens started as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drogo is chrono boosting out warp gate technology. Elazer does not know yet about this Stargate, and that is pretty important for him to figure out. Here come these adepts. There's only one queen, so he's definitely gonna let it. Well, there's Zerklings. They might not let it finish this time.
Yeah, and he didn't see the third base. Like for now,
He didn't
has
check
no
it.
clue
Yeah.
of what is happening right now. Like the ideal situation would have been to make the Void Ray first and not Oracle, but he's doing Oracle now. And he's supply block, so
No. Oh,
the
really?
Void Ray will be even more late.
Okay. Well, so once again, a little bit slow. Actually, a pretty big supply block.
Yeah,
Maybe he should have tried to cancel
That's
one
a
of
lot
these.
of unfortunate situations for Drogo. Like he didn't scout and he started with Oracle. Okay, he's making Void Rays now.
Does he know?
I'm not sure how he knows, but he must.
Maybe he felt the Oracle would hit too late because he was so supply blocked. Either way, these roaches are going to start knocking on his front door. Photon Overcharge could have been casted already, and now the first Photon will go down. There are a couple of Ravengers in the mix, though. Actually, just one.
He just needs to survive until the Void Rays pops out. Elazer is not bringing any queen. It's actually pretty weird. He knows Drogo just go for Stargate like 80% of his PVCs.
Well, I'm with you on that one. Maybe if the Lynx are able to run into the main base, I'm not sure what Elazer is focusing over here. I feel like he's sort of killing Pylon, sort of killing the Adept. But now the first Void Ray is almost out. There are 2 Stalkers being wiped in as well. It's 33 probes against 26 drones. So even if Drogo ends up losing a couple of drones here, that's really not all that bad.
No, it's just not working now. And Elazer has so many overlords he's gonna lose on the maps if you see from the overlord. Like 2 next to Drogo's base and even some more if he doesn't pull it back.
Maybe Drogo just knew. He already said that these games were going to be weird. Sometimes you just know without even seeing everything. You're just like, okay, I know my opponent pretty well.
Maybe he had the Xenaga or something.
And he didn't see the third. He pro skidded at the start. He didn't see like 3
I
hits
mean,
before
maybe
pool.
just because of a low draw count on the second base.
That too.
Something ticked him off. We can probably ask him about it, of course, as soon as he joins us on the couch.
Now he's really in a good spot, I think.
Drogo,
Unfortunately, he didn't kill the overlord on the top, but still it's okay.
Drogo is kind of like the French TLO. He always disagrees with everything you say. It's really awesome. It's like it doesn't really matter what you say.
Yeah?
And even if he agrees, he will start off with, well, no, because actually, and then he says the
I think it
exact
really
same thing.
depends what you say. If you're like, yeah, Phoenix is extremely strong in any case, he will be like, not sure.
You really love teasing me about the Phoenixes, don't you, Lil Bob? For the people who don't know, sometimes inside jokes don't translate too well to camera. I had a conversation once upon a time with Lil Bob where during Heart of the Swarm, I felt like, you know, Phoenix is pretty all right, even against Blink. And then Lil Bob looked at me like he just saw water burning, and he's like, what are you saying? I was like, no, you can make a couple of Phoenixes, then you have an Immortal in time, you'll be fine. And since then, Lil Bob really likes to troll me, because whatever I say, just like, yeah, Phoenix is pretty good too. Shut up, Lil Bob.
Okay, maybe one day I will leave you alone with this.
There are a couple of Ravagers and plenty of Queens over here as well that are going to push this army from
It's
Elazer
a quite
away.
interesting mix from Elazer.
Oh, yeah, you should.
Full Queen Ravager.
Actually, this army is pretty. This is kind of a weak army by Drogo, and it's not a very fast army that can escape easily. A couple of roaches would be extremely useful. First transfuse does go down. There are still Lynx on the other side of the map. Queen's still staying alive for now.
Yeah.
The Adepts are taking quite a bit of damage.
Queen is just tanking way too much against Adepted Void Ray. Both of them has no DPS at all against this, especially with transfuse.
One more Queen that can pick up. Unfortunately for Elazer, he just didn't really have anything in the main base because his economy is hurting so much from the early game build that he went for.
I think Drogo looks pretty stressed. He has way too many probes on his second base, and he didn't take his third in time. Like right now, he has so many money and so many probes, but no units. He hasn't been going too well.
But I guess also like he knows as well that after the opening that Elazer went for, that he's in a really good position now. So Drogo is probably just telling himself, you know, just don't mess up, don't do anything really stupid right now, and you're going to win. And then suddenly, like you're on the other side of the map with Void Rays, and he's like, why am I doing this? Like, you look at your natural, it's like, oh god, I've got 28 probes in my natural. No.
But now Elazer is coming with a pretty strong push.
He's just counterattacking off this.
Yeah, and look at the army supply,
Yeah,
by the
very
way,
strong.
62 against 27. If you lose the mothership core, that would be extremely devastating.
He's down 26 drones, but he's up in supply.
Drogo is just making probes and taking over third base. Like nothing of this will help against this push.
Wow, and like you said it as well, Void Rays have no DPS against Queens. Is Elazer actually going to be able to turn this around? This is really bizarre. This is not supposed to happen. Drogo has a lot of money. He has second Robo Corrosive Bow raining down all over these units. I think Elazer is actually going to win the arena over here.
Yeah, he's
wow.
in a very good spot right now.
Queens, we said it in the start of the game though.
Yeah, I mean, it's easier to do Queens when you have more drones, obviously, but yeah. Like, it's pretty strong.
Wow, this is a really cool pull. It's an awesome counter over here by Elazer. And I mean, Drogo has just been falling apart a little bit. There goes the Mothership Core. No more Photon Overcharge. There is an Immortal, and Drogo has made some remarkable holds already this tournament, but not this
and
one.
There's 2 Disruptors coming out, so
No.
probably not.
Probably not. Disruptors are good, and now Elazer.
And some troll again. There is some mentor happening right there.
He flipped him off. Oh, that's really awesome to see these two guys being in such good spirits with each other. Yeah, he knows.
He knows.
Like,
He
my
knows.
macro, what the fuck?
Drogo knows that that was the throw of the century. This has been a series of trolls, let's be honest.
Yeah, like they're having some fun, but Drogo needs to focus a bit more.
I think both players are just thinking like, what on earth are these games? This makes no sense. And they're probably, it doesn't matter who wins this series, both of them will come here on the couch and say, I played so bad. Like, even when they win, they are going to say like, I played so bad, I already know it.
Especially Drogo, he likes to say it all the time, even if he doesn't play bad.
Yeah, but in the last game, like, yeah, he panicked, I guess, again.
I don't know, he was like, yeah, your push is so bad, I will just counter-attack and crush and you will lose and I will be happy, but it didn't work out that well. So.
Like, I think even like the counter-attack with the adapts wasn't the, or like with the Void Rays, like it wasn't great, but it wasn't even the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
It's more just that he wasn't doing anything at home. 1,500 minerals, 28 probes in the natural, and then Sully is like, okay, you know, like I'll throw down 4 gates, double robo bay, third base, and then Sully is like, you look at the army supply, it's like, he's got 27 army supply right now, and nothing is good against Queens.
Most of the time, Zerg is just dead after pushes like that. So he probably just thought the counterattack would kill him, and he didn't really bother with the macro, even though, of course, he should. Sometimes you're not thinking about it, thinking the game is about to end.
Do you think that after a game like that, Drogo is a little shaky right now?
No, I think
well,
he knows he
okay.
screwed up pretty badly, but Elazer is probably really happy with that.
Well,
Like, I shouldn't have won that. I did in the end.
If you talk about a momentum swing in a series, this is pretty much the best thing you could ever hope for. You're about to go down 0-3 in a pretty damn big series. Somehow, some way, your opponent almost gives you the win. Like, that should give you wings, and you should play like a man on fire now. Told you Arena's good map for Zerg.
Yeah, should have listened.
I mean, I think Drogo never really stood a chance.
Not at all.
All right, we are loaded into Runes of Ceres, and let's see if this man has some wings after that victory that was almost gifted to him. He found a second life. Let's see if he's able to keep his tournament dreams alive. Representing Team Extreme Supremacy, it is Elazer. It's a pretty cool team logo, by the way.
Yeah.
All these like cats, lions, tigers, whatever it is. They always look kind of cool.
And on the bottom right, we have someone that is pretty unhappy that he's in close position. He plays Protoss from Team Insanity. It's PtitDrogo.
Since you were teasing me a little bit before, Lil Bao, I'm going to tease you a little bit now.
Yeah, please.
Which choke do you think was bigger?
Joke?
Choke.
Joke?
Throw.
Whoa.
Which choke? Drogo on the arena or you on BlizzCon?
Drogo will win, obviously. Yeah. So he's going for Nexus first again?
I love you, Lil Bao.
Yeah. Me too.
You love yourself or you love me?
Both.
All right. I can live with that.
Cool.
I feel a little bad for Drogo because that was obviously kind of, well, I mean, he seemed to be taking it very well. So.
Yeah, it's okay. He's still going to win.
Yeah? You're convinced? 100%?
No, not 100 obviously, but like 80, I think 85.
So you said he's happy or unhappy, by the way, with cross map Runes of Ceres?
He's
Very
unhappy.
unhappy.
Yeah, it's like pretty bad. You pretty much can't attack and the Zerg can just make money, lurker, mutalisk or anything. And you don't want to play against a Zerg that has too much money. It's not good.
So what would your approach be? What do you think is the best approach? If it is cross map, you got to deal with it.
Well, you have to make money yourself, I guess. But then, I don't know. I feel like just playing macro is the best. Wait for a big very big and powerful 200 of population and just win after this. But you have to defend everything since that point, so... Like I think the best way is just to play defensive and make a lot of money, fast fourth base, third base, and stuff.
And mutas, they're definitely really strong in these positions. They can force the Protoss to commit to something. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a Stargate opening again on this map.
I think cross map it's a pretty reasonable choice, and I feel throughout the entire series or throughout the entire tournament, Drogo has been very successful with his oracles, and he seems just very comfortable at controlling them. And then we do see the Stargate go down. So I think maybe a double oracle opening over here. There's nothing wrong with it. If he like Elazer sometimes is very aggressive, even in the weirdest positions, with like roaches and ravagers. So if maybe Drogo wants to go up to 3 bases and Elazer tries to go for a super crazy counterattack, maybe Drogo can make a safety void ray out of the Stargate as well. He should be fine.
Yeah, but like this map is way too big to make any watch timing, I think so.
Yeah, but I agree with you. But Elazer sometimes does do weird stuff.
Yeah, he could be going for an Nidus actually or something like this. It's a possibility.
We'll see. Speed is about to finish up for our Polish Zerg. Must feel so good for him right now, knowing that he was almost pretty much dead. I think in a ladder game, if the arena was a ladder game, and after that first push and the Void Ray pushes it back and he doesn't really kill any probes, I think there's a good chance that like the majority of the Zergs, they just step out. They're like, okay, you can't win this anymore.
Yeah, that's possible.
Of course,
Depends on the player.
Yeah.
Some really care about their win rate.
Yeah.
They'll stay
The
until the
ladder
very
points,
end.
man.
Yeah.
It's very important.
Do you care about the ladder points, Lilba?
No, not really.
Okay.
Not that much. I still care a little, but yeah.
All right, Drogo didn't take his gases yet in his natural. A couple of speedlings are running across the map.
Yeah, I think he wants to go for a fast third base again.
Do you think it's scary around Runes of Saras because it's such a large map and you don't really have any idea where your opponent's units are on the map? Or do you think it's still fine because it's cross map and it's so hard
Yeah,
for
I think it's
Elazer?
really fine. Like you really, like on LOTV it's already pretty easy to defend the third base, but on this map it's like impossible to make it cancelled. So,
All that you have to really worry about is a Nidus or a lot of Zerglings.
yeah, Nidus is a scary possibility.
But with the Oracle, he'll see that coming.
Oracle is actually doing some work. It's very important for Drogo that he keeps it alive, and he does keep it alive. Killed 4 workers, that's decent. Sorry, I missed it for a
Yeah,
split
it's
second.
okay.
He got 2 workers over here in the third base. I was like, where's the Oracle? And I'm looking at it, like, oh, there's something on the map. It's been a long year.
That's a full pylon wall, by the way. It's pretty beautiful.
Try push into this. You thought quadruple photon overcharge was good, here's 5. It's like Link start tapping away. It's like, oh no, everything's dying.
125 DPS. What you gonna do? You just don't come.
It's pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, you have to respect the pylons.
I actually think it's really difficult to wall off on this map, so I think this is a pretty cool wall off.
Yeah.
I'm taking notes.
Like the usual wall off is just a 3 gate or 3 building with the same size and 1 pylon on the top.
There are quite a few roach out already, and 5 more roaches on the production tab for Drogo, excuse me, for Elazer, while Drogo is marching across the map with his traditional, almost trademark. I think this time he's going to cancel the shade for sure. He's just going to keep him over here and try to maybe cancel this spine crawler. He's doing some serious work with this already, and let's not forget, on the other side of the map, Drogo is going up 2-3 bases, so he should be fine. This is, okay, no, don't lose the Oracle. Wow, actually, well, he gets the Spore Crown and he gets the Queen. That's a really sick play.
Needs to be careful.
Man, Drogo is a god with Oracles.
Yeah.
He's playing with fire, but somehow he's getting away with everything. He's like, I'm not leaving until they're 1 hit away from dying, you know. There's always another drone to kill, like that's his motto.
Maybe he wants to make an achievement or something, like save a unit with 1 HP.
With the medevac, it's like the hot pickup.
Yeah, something like this.
And over here, he's obviously going for the meat grinder achievement. Kill 40 units in 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Drogo's like, all right, baby, photon overcharge.
That's 9 gate in production, no gas, so he's just
Whoa.
going for an all-in pretty much, I guess.
Whoa, that's...
Yeah.
It's a lot of zealots.
Yeah, but it's going to be a lot of zero.
So SimCity is going to be extremely important again for Elazer. We saw that a little bit on Lara Crest.
It's a lot harder on this map, though.
Yeah,
it's very open third.
Where do you want to hold? I mean, he does throw down an infestation pit, by the way. maybe he's...
It's gonna be too late if I think.
I think if he
make
makes
it faster, so.
only roaches right now, he's fine, but he doesn't know it's coming.
I think a couple hydras is all right. Like, not
Yeah.
too many. Like, you don't want to have like a 50-50 mix because the roaches are way tankier.
You don't want any hydras getting attacked. So
No.
if there's a few at the back, it's
Yeah,
fine.
exactly. It's very far back of the army. But it's also extremely important that he actually identifies this. And I'm not sure if he truly does. I mean, I guess this is Drogo's answer to what you two were suggesting earlier here, saying that this is a very difficult map to play super late game. He's like, all right, let's not get it to the super late game.
But right now, Elazer has a lot of gas. I'm not sure how he will be able to use it before the push actually hits.
I don't think the lurker den will be done in time.
It will
takes
be
a
pretty
long
bad for
time.
him to have like 900 gas in bank when he's attacked.
I think it's interesting he's getting Burrow. He's going to throw down Spike Roller. Elazer is definitely very worried about this push. 3 roaches will just casually walk into the natural over here. Ignore the meat grind or the valley of death over here. These 3 roaches are out of range of Pottery. This is going to be very annoying,
Quite
actually.
annoying, yeah.
Because now he needs to make a defensive weapon, and that's the last thing you ever want to do. It's pretty much nothing but zealots over here. There is going to be a Guardian Shield as well. Where are the It's important that he keeps his oracles alive, by the way, because he needs to have some sort of detection later on.
So close, like 10, 15 seconds later, there would have been lurkers, but he's attacking right now. And there's a little bit of a good SimCity from the lurk, but...
It's actually working very well. I mean, let's not forget, if this push runs out of steam very quickly, Drogo needs to drop a couple of good force fields or something. He has plenty of force fields. There we go. He's getting quite a few roaches over here. He's getting the Ravager, but I feel like the Zealot count is starting to run very low. Corrosive Bile raining all over the sentries, and Drogo's supply is actually plummeting. So far, this seems like a very, very good hold for Elazer.
There's 17 roaches finishing up, and Drogo lost 16 probes behind this, so he can't reinforce as well as he wanted to.
I think that's it. Like Elazer has 4 base. I'm not sure if he has Evo chambers.
There's no upgrades for Drogo.
Yeah, he has 2 Evo chambers. He can just go in transition into the macro game pretty easily. I think he's in a really good spot, like very, very good spot right now.
That's a really good hold by Elazer, because that was not easy at all. There was a crazy amount of gateways, Archons, sentries. That could have been so bad. You know, if you're one time out of position, force fields will rain down, you're going to lose everything. But he put himself in a very strong defensive position. And Elazer, man, he's becoming he's really giving himself some new life and new hope in this series. Because right now he's in an absolutely phenomenal position. I'm not going to say it's over yet, because we've seen some pretty weird stuff in this series. But
it's not over, but he has a lot of tech, a lot of money with 4th base, even 5th now. So yeah, he should be fine in the next few minutes. And Drogo is not taking the 5 gas, no 4th base, so it looks like he wants to all in again.
it's kind of funny. I've never seen Roof Swines, or however it's called these days, being upgraded from the Lurker Den. Normally you just see it from the Hydra Den.
Roaches just casually walk through the wall again. Nothing there. No cannons too, so his burrow is going to pay off.
Yeah, Burrow is going to be extremely
very
annoying.
again.
It's like the most annoying thing on earth. There's still one Oracle, it's just idling. There's an Observer, but it's in the middle of nowhere as well. I mean, this is disastrous for Drogo.
Yeah,
This is,
Elazer just need to hold this and just win pretty much.
yeah, I mean, Archons are good, but he can just kite his army for days. There are not that many Zealots anymore that he really has to respect it that much.
Yeah.
Lurkers are going to demolish his army, because there's just no detection here. There's no Observer with his army.
Yeah, no detection and no upgrade. Like Drogo's army is pretty weak actually.
Yep. Oh, here we go.
But he
Roach-
still has to micro a bit. Yeah, but
And hatchery here is good for Zerg for once. Like in Heart of the Storm, you never want to attack like this, but playing against the Zealot style, this is a great position. You killed all the Zealots really quickly, and there's only Archons left.
yeah, Archons had a lot of good shots against Roaches, but it's not going to be enough, I think.
I think that was a desperation F2 while the Oracle suddenly randomly flies in and the Observer was making his way as well. GG! Elazer evens up the series, and we have an awesome start over here to HomeStory Cup 12, day 4, first quarterfinals. I mean, let's be honest, the games are not flawless. You know, there are definitely plenty of mistakes on both sides, but they are very entertaining, and you can just see that both players playing with a lot of nerves over here.
And knowing each other, they're not playing their usual styles, which means they are prone to making more mistakes. I think against other players, they look a little bit more crisp because they're doing things that other people.
Last map is Central Protocol.
Central! I wish that the camera was on us right now.
Head in hand.
Production,
not
can we
like
take a look at
this.
Lilma? Lilma's face literally went like, oh. Like he just saw like the most gnarly thing that he's ever seen in his life.
It's so bad.
Like when the Widow Mines hit your Phoenix. Same thing.
No, but like, this map is like the very worst. No, okay, the double gold base is worse, but like both maps are extremely terrible.
I think, I mean, I'm not going to say that this map is decent for Protoss, because you'll never let me go. So I'm definitely not going.
You can't go away with this.
No, I won't go there. But I do think spawning positions matter a little bit. Like what I really hate
Yeah.
is if let's say I'm Protoss and I spawn left bottom and Zerg spawns left top, and then they just expand and then they take the base in between us. Then there's like creep at the bottom of your ramp immediately. And if you want to go up to 3 bases, you got to take 6 o'clock, which is super far away, unless you kill your own rocks. But that always feels like so weird and unnatural, and you know you have to worry about your ramp. So I think the best thing that Drogo can hope for is cross map. And I'm not saying that it's perfect then, but I think that's better than some of the other very weird spawning locations.
Yeah, but I mean, the problem is not even the all-in in early game. Like, to me, when I play Central Protocol, I actually hope that I will go for an all-in, because I myself go very aggressive, and if he all-in me, then obviously he lose. Like, the worst is just to take a third base. It's actually impossible.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
You just can't. While Elazer can take the gold if he wants, even though it's still pretty far, but it's takeable.
But I think cross map is a better scenario for
Yeah.
Drogo, right? On this map, I think so.
I don't know.
Or maybe like if you're left bottom and the other one is right bottom, like that's all right too. I think horizontal is fine, but I think vertical is very annoying for
If
Protoss.
Elazer want to macro, then yeah,
I've
Cross
seen a
map
lot
is
of
the best.
one base warp prism adept builds on this map. I don't know if it's popular anymore, but it used to be.
I don't think it's possible because there is no WAM, so you can't really have fun with the shades and force field with a warp prism and have some cake. Like, it's
cake?
not really possible. Yeah.
All right, we are loaded into Central Protocol. Lilbo's still in pain, but he's going to make it to the end of the series. We're looking at the main base of our Polish Zerg. He's down 0-2, but he found new life. It is Elazer. Oh man, poor Drogo, by the way, is never going to forget about this series for the rest of his life if he ends up losing it after Arena. But hopefully for him, that won't be the case, and he can just laugh about it. I mean, he is playing against somebody that he likes very much, so maybe he could forgive himself, but needless to say, he was in a very good position. Will he still be able to close out the series? Representing my insanity, it is PtitDrogo.
So for the first time of the series, he's not going for Nexus first.
Double gate.
I'm not sure if it's desperate or just if he actually is good with his build. I have no clue about this actually.
I almost feel that he wants like maybe vertical or horizontal over here. Maybe he wants to go double gate and Stargate before Nexus, the way he did it against you as well, Scarlett.
That's also a specific build on Alrenik, because the Oracle gets to the base so quickly after the adepts.
But I think like this is also not too bad.
Yeah, so
It depends when he scouts. Like, he knows he's not going to be there.
Yeah, so like right now Drogo is in the worst map with the worst position for the build order he went in.
Yeah, for the build order.
He's already pretty unlocked.
Like if it would have just been a Nexus first, I think cross map would have been like decent and playable. But yeah, opening up with double gate, cross map, like these adepts. Well, is this actually a zealot? No, you can cancel.
He cancels it when the cyber core is done. Yeah.
Okay. Well, he canceled it immediately. He started it for like half a second. He's like zealot. He's like, no, I'm not gonna make a zealot. No, I'm already dead. If something bad happened over here, I'm already dead.
And he's gonna boosting the warp gate, so he's going to go for one base play. And the Elazer is going very safe, so for now it's like the very worst case scenario.
Maybe he's gonna try to warp in a pilot somewhere with a gateway as well on the other side of the map for faster warp. Oh, it's a robo.
Yeah, one base adept.
All right.
But like I'm not sure how this build can work with the WAMP.
It only works if the Zerg doesn't see if you expand it or not, which is unlikely.
And the Overlord is slowly but steady heading towards the natural of Drogo, where normally a Nexus is supposed to be planted down. But there's a good chance one of these Lings sneaks in as well. The Lings at least are going to see both adepts over here in the middle of the map, and that's already very nice for Elazer.
He's probably going to chase after the Zerglings. Usually you'd go for drones, but here he wants to deny the scouting.
Yeah,
so yeah, he'll kill the Zerglings.
I feel it's kind of a tell as well, right? It's like, I've got nothing to hide, but I really don't want to worry about these two Zerglings, It's like, I could potentially kill 3, 4, 5 lol. Did you see him? That was doing a moonwalk. That's sick.
Oh, we have a pretty big supply block for Elazer.
Maybe choking a little bit.
Yeah, like this game must be stressing for both players.
2 more gateways are warped in over here, so Drogo is definitely not showing any intentions of willing to play a very long game. Something very weird has to happen for this game to...
He's supply box making the warp prism too.
Oh god, yeah, that's
really unfortunate.
Both players are too stressed.
7 more drones. Elazer has to slow down, man. Like 33 drones is more than enough, by the way, buddy.
The Overlord just gets here, sees nothing. He should make a Roach Warren right now and start mining gas.
Yeah, he can even spam Zerglings. Like I think both can work.
I think Roach Warren and also Spine Crawl in every mineral line.
Yeah, I think the best is Spine Crawlers and Zerglings because Roach Warren looks pretty far away. Like you need to get gas again, get a Roach Warren. It's pretty expensive. So I think like some spine and full circlings would be the best.
I mean, he has like he's 7 workers up, and he's also mining with 11 drones from the second base. So if you look at the income tab, 1200 minerals a minute, he can afford a lot of stuff. He can afford to make sacrifices, just nothing but units. Obviously, the last thing he ever wants to do is be supply blocked right now, or make more drones, which would be the silliest thing ever. Obviously, he's not doing it. So Drogo, all his hopes are right now on these 8 adepts. This series has been very wild already. The first quarterfinals here, there are 3 more coming up. Next one is going to be a ZVT between Nerd Show and MMA. That's going to be sick as well. But for now, will Drogo be able to make it happen? Normally, you'd say this should not work. There are spines.
Yeah, I don't know. He has the timing if he is very quickly at the main. There is no watchers and no spine at the moment.
Yeah,
so.
I would have loved to seen one spine crawler in the main. He's going to let the adepts finish over here, but they're surrounded by Zerglings immediately.
And there is 8 watchers in production. 8 is quite a lot.
You have to snowball with this, and losing these without killing much. The roaches are about to pop out. I don't know what he can do.
Okay, at least this is kind of nice. Adepts are starting to slowly but steady. We're going to see some Warp Prism Micro over here. Army Supply, Drogo is still a little bit behind, but he does have a lot of micro potential, of course, with all these Adepts. The Queens are going to be pulled now as well. How many roaches do we have? We have 6, 7 roaches. I would have really loved to see a single spine in the main. I think that would have made his life so much easier. But I think in the end, he should still be able to hold. He's losing a couple drones over here, but once again, losing drones is not bad when you have 3 hatcheries. He just needs to make sure that he doesn't die.
Yeah,
and
he still has a reasonable count of drones.
I think that Drogo is just losing too many units. He's running out of steam. He's going to pick up the Stalkers and get the hell out of here for now. And this was not good enough.
Yeah, now we have an Immortal in production.
You really have to kill almost all of the drones or just win the game straight up with his push.
Now I think it's going to be complicated.
Excellent hold by Elazer. Just did what he had to do. Good scouting, reacted in the way that he had to do it. Imagine if Drogo shows up there 6, 7 seconds earlier when he's not supply blocked, when he's building the prism. There's a good chance his snowballs maybe a little bit quicker, but I think your first point, Scarlet, was really good. When you send in all those 8 adepts, you want to keep all your units alive. Like, every unit is so important because you're not mining a whole lot. You have a 1-base economy. So
like, if the War Prism was there, he would have been able to pick them up, micro them.
Super
but without
easily.
that, yeah.
So that was extremely unfortunate, and yeah, every unit you lose is just like you feel you run out of steam so quickly, and then you lose potential damage output. You really have to make it so hard for Zerg that every unit that pops, you kill it immediately, and you just don't lose anything. Then maybe you can make it work as a Protoss, but great job by Elazer, and unfortunately not what Drogo was looking for. Drogo is going to drop the Nexus.
I think it's pretty much fake Nexus. Like he will probably go for a wave.
But he's making more
probes. I think he kind of he's going to be mined out in his main base soon. Like, half the patches will be empty. So I think he has to. I think he has no choice.
Yeah, like fake Nexus, like he doesn't have to cancel it, but I don't think he will make too many probes.
No, okay. It's not like a full macro game. He's not planning for the 12-minute mark, but I guess he will let it finish and use it.
He's just trying to tweak Elazer.
TLO would like to call it transitional Nexus.
Keep the 1-base all going. It's like 1-base Terran, but you can't lift it off, unfortunately.
I mean, here we can already see it. A couple of the patches have disappeared, so he just needs it. He needs to transfer a couple of workers. I mean, the layer is very late, and we've seen a lot of silly things of Protoss in the past few years. And let's not forget, in the arena, Elazer was extremely far ahead. Excuse me, Drogo, after defending an early semi-all-in. But Elazer still won, so it's not over. Till it's truly over, but...
He's just going to probably try and make a lot of Roach Ravager and go attack. Because there's the back rocks. And with Ravagers now, you can't just hold forever with force fields.
Actually, a really good point. Drogo has no vision of these rocks. It would have been awesome to see a couple of Lings just chipping away at those rocks. They would have been pretty much dead by now. Drogo in a very rough spot. Army supply. He's getting a Robo Bay. That's actually, I find, very surprising. Disruptor?
Disruptors.
Yeah, it has to be Disruptors. It's probably like Drogo is hoping for Elazer to just go all in like he did, like Drogo did on Ulwena. He just throw the game to a ball or something. It's like,
is there a mothership core here? Yes, it is. Maybe a couple of force fields. If he snipes this hatchery, I mean, he's keeping Elazer busy with the War Prism. Now suddenly there are 2 Immortals. He's going to get a couple of drones. So I would really love to see him kill the hatch, though. Like, getting the roaches and the drones is nice, but I think he would have been able to kill the hatchery with 2 Immortals. Can't lose the mothership core, though, Drogo.
I think he can get the hatch for sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Mortals
he
do
missed
so much damage
all
to
the
it.
Ravager shots.
Okay, that's very nice. A couple of sentries do take a lot of damage, but they won't die. At the same time, there's still this War Prism as well that's still alive. Drogo!
Yeah. But now he has to survive this.
Well, that's when you get the Disruptor hits, baby.
Yeah, but
Attacking
the
into
Disruptor is
Attacking into Disruptors is very difficult, though.
Yeah. Disruptor is way better defensively than offensively.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
It's like I've tried chasing an army with disruptors a couple times in PvP. It's really bad.
No,
Like,
don't do this.
no, it's like okay. I'm glad Lilba's not watching. He'd never let this one go either.
Yeah. Well, if you had some Phoenix to pick up a Disruptor, he couldn't land the ball.
I know. Actually, like I think Phoenix are gonna make a comeback in PvP, baby. Well, here we do see those back rocks. There are still a couple of force fields. Of course, there are plenty of Ravages, but force fields are still very annoying to deal with. He needs to bring it
There
forward.
is one Disruptor, and this Disruptor has a lot of work to do.
This right now has the dream written all over it. It's like, hey, I just want you to kill like 7 Ravages, okay? That's all. Like, I'm not asking for much. All that Drogo wants for Christmas.
Yeah, he could do like a time warp, like don't show a Disruptor, build a time warp, wait for him to walk in.
Surprise! Okay, well that's
That was
fine.
good.
Yeah. Oh, and good force field and 1 pile overcharged.
Oh my god, is this happening, boys?
Is it
He's
one
gonna
more
hold
floor?
this for sure.
Oh, corrosive bow hitting the sentries, that really hurts. A couple of pylons would have been so useful. He should be able to get one more shot off, but the Disruptor is so low on HP. The Immortals are doing really good work
The
though.
Disruptor into survive.
I think he's going to hold for now. It is
Yeah,
actually
he
really
had.
close supply-wise. I mean, it's 66 drones against 38, but I feel the dream is so alive right now. Okay, another roach. Okay.
Yeah, and he has quite a lot of bank as well. He could have 10 more population or something, so it looks not even, like Elazer is still a bit ahead, but not that much, and I think he has no evo chamber at all. Yeah, so no upgrade for either player.
Disrupt a good unit, Scarlet.
Yeah.
Scarlet is speechless.
Yeah. It's pretty decent.
Makes me sad.
What is it with Zerg players and always being sad about Protoss things? North America.
You would
Zerg
know
players.
if you played Zerg for like past 5 years.
I think I would have had the time of my life.
Even when Zerg has an advantage in the matchup, it's just so annoying to play.
There is something annoying.
Oh no, don't kill
probes.
probes! Disrupt has to kill your own units as well. This is a very good counterattack here by Elazer. He needs to buy a little bit of time for himself. I mean, it's crazy that we even think that this game... Oh, getting a Disruptor over here with Lynx would be phenomenal for Elazer.
Oh, yeah,
He's gonna get it. It's so funny because normally, like in no other scenario would this game ever even be remotely close. Disruptor is gonna get picked off there. That's very unfortunate.
Yeah, he missed both shots.
Oh, no. Okay, attacking is a lot more difficult with the Disruptor.
And he doesn't have the mothership core here. So there's no recall.
He does have a sentry.
He's stuck in his lurkers.
No, crossing
Yeah,
bow,
yeah,
landing on the
yeah.
prism. No, actually, yes, it is landing on the prism. I think that's going to be it. Elazer makes a remarkable comeback in this series. Was almost dead and buried, but he brought it back down 0-2. Will win it 3-2, and will be the first player advancing to the semifinals. And obviously, a very rough series for Drogo.
Yeah.
All right.
Give this guy a microphone, please.
Does he reach it? All right, Elazer joining us on the couch. Elazer, I don't even know where to start. Obviously, first of all, congratulations for advancing to the semifinals of HomeStory Cup. That's great. You and Drogo, you're very good friends. You practice a lot of games. You already told us that the games were going to be a little bit weird, but did you expect them to be this weird?
Well, I don't think they were weird compared to our practice, but yeah, we never practiced on the last map, Central Protocol, so yeah, I didn't expect that at all. I thought I'm going to lose for sure, but yeah, somehow, some way.
Did you realize how far behind you were on the arena?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I wanted to leave. I wanted to leave after the push, but I thought, maybe let's play some more. And somehow I came back, but that was very lucky by me.
Never give up, never surrender.
Yeah.
Scarlet, Lilbo.
Yeah, it must feel good to do this kind of comeback, right?
Yeah, very good.
Especially against Protoss players.
Yeah, versus so good player like Drogo. In practice, I lose way more than I win, and yeah.
But what do you think of the decision to go for this all-in on a Central Protocol? I think it's not really good, like you can't really force field the ramp.
I think it was very good compared, because in our practice I always played the build with free harsh and gas, so I think this build was very good if I didn't scout. And I think the scout was pretty lucky by me with the Zergling, that he didn't kill the Zergling with 2 adepts, because I split it somehow, so yeah, so I was just very lucky in that game.
When all the adepts shifted towards your main base, were you a tiny bit worried, like, oh, maybe I should have had a spine in the main mineral line as well, or were you confident that at this point you were going to hold?
Yeah, I thought that I need spine in my main, but I built 2 in the natural, and I was just very stressed and I didn't put it in
I mean, yeah, we could see that throughout the series. I mean, obviously for us, it's very relaxing. We're just sitting here on the couch watching the games, but we can see, we know, we've seen you play some almost flawless games and seen it from Drogo as well. And I think this series, there was definitely a lot of pressure, right, on your shoulders.
How did it feel after you won Game 3? Like, you must have felt like you were about to lose the series 0-3, and then
Yeah,
you somehow won that game.
Yeah, I just wanted to laugh after.
Did you think that you had a good chance after that?
Yeah, because the maps were way better for Zeg, so yeah, I thought I have now chance.
On the Runes of Saras as well, I think Game 4 was a pretty interesting one.
On which map?
Runes of Saras, the cross map with all the cellos. I felt that you picked up on the fact immediately that this was a little bit different and that he was going to make way more cellos with a way bigger commitment than he normally does. Because often Drogo has like a mid-game push where he does a little bit of harassment, but this was pretty much an all-in. You also went for Burrow. Like, could you explain your thought process in Game 4 a little bit? And what tipped you off? Like, what made you... Because you started the SimCity as well, like you really had a good idea that this was coming, right?
Yeah, I knew I can't really go to macro with Drogo because Proto is pretty strong right now, so I just wanted to finish it quickly, and I thought with Burrow, like he didn't have cannons in his base, he just relied on the photon overcharge. That's why I thought maybe with Burrow I can do some haros, and yeah, I did.
So you were actually planning to attack him?
Yeah.
And then you saw him run across the map, and you're like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was a little bit of luck?
Yeah, it's a bit.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, it worked out brilliantly. I think your hold was still very good, though. Like, I think you're, like, it's really funny because in the old days, PvZ is all about the stalkers, right, and the force field, and you have to position your army very different. But now the chargelets are becoming so popular, and I think engagements are everything. I think we saw it a little bit on Orbital Shipyard. Did you have the feeling that on Orbital you could have won the game? The first map?
Yeah. I thought I had this game, but Protoss really strong right now.
Or, no, I didn't mean Orbital, excuse me, I meant Dusk Towers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, after you defended his attack, he killed your main base and you counterattacked.
Yeah.
Were you just not expecting him to attack into your army, or what? Because it looked like you wanted to be aggressive, but you weren't ready for him just running into you.
I don't really remember the engagement. So.
It's all right. I mean, I can imagine. It's a very stressful series. Lil Scarlett, any final questions before we wrap it up?
Well, I would like to ask who, if you wait.
Who you would prefer?
Yeah, but I don't even know who is playing.
MMA or Nerd Show, the winner of the next series?
I think MMA. I would prefer to play MMA because versus Nerd Show I'm like 19-1 right now in Legacy of the Void. Like I just lose almost every game with Nerd Show. That's why I just don't want to play with him.
But it would be kind of cool to have an all-Polish semi-final, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be cool, but...
Like, Emil is losing it down there.
Yeah, I prefer... I want Nesher to advance, but I don't want to play.
Okay, so for your own chances, you would prefer MMA, but for Poland, you would prefer Nurchi. All right.
Who do you think will win between them?
I think Nurchi.
Okay. I think he might win, yeah.
I think it has something to do with your hoodie. I guess, I mean...
They're both on my
seat. Yeah, that's true. I mean, but the Zerg players always stick together. Racial bias. All right, congratulations, Elazer, once again. It was a very fun series to watch, and it's awesome that you made it to the semifinals here. And can't wait for your semifinals. Right now, we're going to head over to a very small commercial break, and after that, we'll be back with the All-Acer quarterfinal between MMA and Nurcho. Will you be casting that one as well?
I don't know.
I think you should. I mean, like, you can be the Zerg, we'll find the Terran. Maybe.
So I can be biased to the Acer player?
Yes, you can cheer for
all
both.
series long?
Exactly. All right, so we're going to head over to a very small break, and after that, we'll be back with the second quarter.